love me. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
So hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can create your own blog application in Flutter and FastAPI. So let's get started. So first thing you need to do is open your whatever browser you are using, and you need to install SQLite browser. Okay. So after installing this, you have to open it and you have to create an in database structure. You need to create a new database. Okay. So this new database will be here in your project directory. So first things you need to install is pip install FastAPI and all. Okay. So after installing FastAPI, it will fetch some dependencies and it will inject it in a virtual environment. Or if you're not using virtual environment, you can just simply type in pip install FastAPI, etc. Next thing you need to do is open your SQLite browser and click on create a new database and name the database as blogdatabase.db. And next you need to create a table which is going to have these values. So you have to click on that table, and I'm just showing you what's so if I go here into blogs, and if I modify the table, you can see here we have a table with columns such as id, title, content, author, date. So id is associated with an integer that is going to be our primary key, and it is auto increment. Next, the title. Title is going to be a text. Content is going to be a text. Author is going to be text, and date is going to be a text. Okay. So you have to click on then create, and it will create a database like this. And you need to add this values. You can add whatever values you want by clicking on this little icon, and you can click here and you can fill in these values. Okay. So let's get started with our backend development. So after installing the dependencies, you need to create a file called server.py, and our whatever we call it, our JSON API will something look like this, which is an array. First is going to be a JSON array. In the JSON array, we have some JSON objects, that is title, my title, and ID. Okay, so we have to create all this variables. So first things we need to import is FastAPI. From FastAPI, import FastAPI. Next, we need to import SQLite 3. So import SQLite 3, and we will instantiate FastAPI to our app. Next is app.get, which is going to have get logs like this, not clogs, logs. And we need to create an async function which is def get blogs. Then we have to create a connection to our database. So I will warn some users that this DB journal comes when you have not saved your database. So sometimes if you open with this DB journal, it will say that database is locked. So I'm telling you again and again that if you haven't saved your database, the error will occur in FastAPI when you are trying to make a connection, which is database is locked. Okay, so you have to just control save here, or you can just click on write changes. Okay, so that database journal is now gone. Now what we have to do is create a connection which is going to be SQLite3.connect. This is going to be blog database.db. Next is we need to get a cursor which is going to be con.execute. Select everything from blogs. Okay. Next is blogs is equal to cur.fetchAll. This means that all the tuples we will get in a list will be stored in this blogs variable. Now, if we print the blogs, let's run a server. So to run the server, you have to just do uvcon server :app. That is going to be server, which is a file name, app, which is this, and dash reload. So we don't have to constantly stop and run our server again and again. It will automatically reload the changes if we have edited our file. Now we need to go here, go to localhost port 8000, and you can see here detail not found. But if we go here, okay, we need to go to /get blocks, internal server error. But okay, can't select. Okay, but I have done wrong here. Select everything from block. Let's go and hit run. It will say null. And if we go here, it will give us a list which contains tuple of individual items, such as this and this. Now we have to make it in this format. So what I'm going to do is, let's say our blogs JSON is going to be an array. Okay. Now for I in blocks, for each element in blocks. So what are our i's? Our I is basically this. This one tuple is going to be our one I, and this another tuple is going to be our another I. This I variable. Okay. Now what we have to do is get a single block. Single block is equal to a dictionary. Okay. Now what we are going to do is assign some, let's say this ID, we are going to assign it to I 0th value. And now what we are going to do is we are going to append this single block which is in a JSON object to a blocks JSON which is a JSON array. Okay, so this seems to be complex, but it is very simple. What we are going to do is just type in title is going to be ith1, and we are going to paste this a couple of times. Content is going content. Next we have author. Next we have the date, and we are going to remove this. Now we have to increment our ith value with 2, 3, 4. And what's there 1, 2, 3, 4? This is, let's say we have one item, okay? So one item is, let's say this one. This one is our one item. So our ith value is this one. First, ith 0 is going to be this. I1 is going to be this. Ith second index is going to be this. This is a tuple, okay? We are getting a data type tuple in the ith value. Now we are going to append this blocks JSON dot append single block. Now we are just going to return this blocks JSON. Save it. So our server is restarted. Let's go. And if we get blocks, there we go. Now to get a pre-printed, we are going to go to our Swagger UI, click, hit try out, hit execute, and you can see that we have got in our required format. And in the next video, we are going to make a delete view, update view, and let's say read and create all that CRUD operations. And then we are going to host it on data.sh or Heroku, most probably data.sh. And then we are going to connect it to our Flutter backend. So this is for this tutorial, and I will meet you in the next tutorial. Till then, see ya. Have a good day.